welcome to all the locals from the Philippines and from Australia, and leaders from all over the world, and especially to guests who are hearing this recording or who are here live with us, but also those who are unable to be with us and are going to enjoy the recording. So I'm going to share my screen now. So from me, it's a really warm welcome. As Charlotte said earlier, we are extremely excited that the opening of the Philippines is now a real reality. We've got a fabulous range of products, and most important, our guest tonight is Mercia Riego, and she is our sales director for LifeVantage in the Philippines. So before I introduce Mercia to you, I thought I'd just share a little bit about my LifeVantage story. As you can see, I'm from Sydney, Australia, and I've been in Charlotte's team for almost 3 years now, and it's been the most amazing journey. And I didn't actually go out looking for a business opportunity. In fact, I wasn't even looking for a product. I was a very stubborn person. I was very ill, and the person that introduced me to the product, a dear friend, she was persistent. She asked me 4 times and I said no. I said, leave me alone. I don't want to know about a product and I'm not interested in a business. Please leave me alone. I just want to get well. So I'd been bitten by a tick and I had a really bad infection, and I struggled with my health for 18 months. And eventually on the 4th phone call, I said, okay, give me that product. I'll try it. So I tried it reluctantly, I might add. Within 3 weeks, I phoned her and I said, listen, I'm feeling so much better. I'm sleeping better. The aches and pains are less. I've got more energy. I had almost chronic fatigue. I was feeling so bad. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go back to work. I hadn't worked for 18 months. I said, you better put me on as a distributor. Now, bearing in mind, I hadn't worked for 18 months, so I didn't have any money. So I started on the very smallest package because I couldn't afford the big package. I wanted that for the stock, but I couldn't afford it. So I started on the very smallest package. Within 30 days, I upgraded to the platinum pack, and I was away. I was off. And my life has not been the same since. From having my credit card maxed out, struggling to manage my rent, I now have a balance in the bank. I do not have a credit card, and I'm able to manage my finances with light at the end of the tunnel. I'm even planning a family holiday when we get out of the COVID. So my life has completely turned around in just 3 years. And I know that the opportunity that we're going to share with you tonight is going to be available for all of you in the Philippines, because the platform that we're on and the company and the products, you have an opportunity. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter how old you are. It's an opportunity for financial freedom and the ability to influence and help the health of all your family, all your friends, and everybody in your circle. So without further ado, I would like to pass this over. Oh dear. Before I say any more, it's really important for everyone on the call to understand that we never claim to heal, prevent, cure, mitigate, or diagnose any disease. What information we share with you this evening is purely for educational purposes only. So from me, who is LifeVantage? LifeVantage is the pioneer in nutrigenomics. The company is 17 years young. It was founded in 2003. But I must point out, when we say founded, it doesn't take in the time before 2003, from 1968, when Dr. McCaw was in his laboratory and they first started putting together this aging process, which is what we're going to tell you a little bit more about. So the company is dedicated to biohacking, the aging code. So it's all about aging with health and wellness instead of aging with disease and illness. And we are committed to and are relentless in our striving for helping families live longer and have a healthy life and also have abundance. So it is my great pleasure to introduce you to Mercia Riego, and she comes to us with more than 10 years experience in marketing, in sales, in customer services, and she has got a wealth of experience. And just for the few minutes that we spoke before, she is going to be such an amazing addition to the LifeVantage international platform, and she heads up the Philippines. Thank you, Marcia.
Thank you so much, Margie. And I'm really happy to hear about your story. That's very inspiring. And I could see the passion and I could relate to how you feel and how we want LifeVantage to be in the Philippines. So magandang gabi sa inyong lahat. Good evening, everyone. I'm honored to be here and I'm really happy to be part of this event tonight. I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Mercia Riego. I have been in the industry for several years now. I've been in 2 different MLM companies before joining LifeVantage. I started as a customer service manager dealing with all the distributors that we had. And eventually, after 3 years, I became an operations manager. So that's when I love it when everything that I think or I thought was needing improvements during my customer service time, I am able to improve during my time as an operations manager. And then eventually I got offered to become a sales director because my boss told me that I'm good with people and I always connect with people. So, and yeah, I could say that I have enjoyed the role as a sales director because it means that I get to work with a lot of our distributors, from setting up their goals and putting up their action plans and eventually celebrating milestones. And that is something that I could guarantee when here in LifeVantage, that you could work hand in hand with me. Since we are all starting together, we could dream together, we could work together and celebrate together in the future. So I'm really happy to show you where the office location is. This is NEX Tower in Ayala Avenue. This is one of the newest building in the area, and I love it that during pandemic, there's a lot of people who got into plants. So when you get into the building, there's a whole wall of plants. So I know plantitos and plantitas. That's a Filipino term we use here. You will really love the place. So yeah, I know that you have been waiting for several months, but COVID happened. So it took us longer than we expected, but we are already here, getting nearer with our launch, and let's get going with what we plan and what we envision for the country. So yes, when I first visited the office, this is how it looked like. But this was 3 weeks ago, I think. Yesterday, I was in the office and you could see the structures are already there. The counters, the offices are already built. So it's going to be more exciting. We're going to be sharing more on the progress of the office in our next meeting. You're going to be loving it. When we say that LifeVantage has big goals and dreams for the Filipino, it is true. Sa lahat ng mga Pilipino na nandito sa meeting today, for all the Filipinos that are here in the meeting today, I would like to let you know that LifeVantage is fully invested here in the Philippines. We set up a big office that we could call home, that we could all go to, and we could all grow together. We're not just a company that tries to do the market, do the recruitment, sell something. If it works, then we're going to set an office. It's the other way around. We already set it up for a strong start so that we could work on just growing it in the next few years. And I would like to share with you that the company has a vision that the Philippines is going to be the biggest market, or one of the biggest market, if not the biggest, for the whole of LifeVantage in the next few years. So this is what we are going to work together. And what I could say is that since I'm going to be starting with LifeVantage, I know that we could work on really getting or achieving that being the biggest market. I have been studying a lot of strategies from all other MLM companies, and I know that we can do that. But one thing I'm asking you is let us do networking the right way so that we could have a pride in ourselves that we are doing it the right way, and we are setting as an example to all the people, all the networkers that are here in the country, to those that are naysayers or to those that are degrading the networking company. When they see LifeVantage or when they hear about LifeVantage, they want to become part of the company because we can do it. I have seen how Charlotte and Margie has started on the presentation. That is the right way to do it. It's not complicated, it's simple, but we just have to follow how networking should be done. It's going to be easy, and we're going to be happy that we're going to be part of this company. So from zero as of this time, we are at a clean slate, but everyone's that's going to be joining us, especially before we even launch, you are in a good place, that you are invited right now because you will be the very first ones that we are going to be working with. And when we grow, of course, the first ones to take action are also going to be the first ones to grow. So please communicate with me, communicate with Charlotte, communicate with Margie, because we can work together with you on how to grow this. We can help a lot of people in terms of health, and we can help a lot of people in terms of having a decent income by having LifeVantage as a vehicle. So I'd like to thank Charlotte and Margie for bringing me letting me join tonight, because as passionate as you are, I feel the same way. But together with this passion and with this goal, I know that we can do a lot of things together. So here, I'd like to show you. This is just the beginning, the previous slide. I always say that's just the vision of how we begin, but how many offices we get in the future, it all depends on us. So thanks again for making me part of this event tonight.
So what are we really talking about? We're talking about biohacking with nutrigenomics. And this is, we are as the company at the leading edge of science, where the study of how nutrients and naturally occurring compounds affect our genes. And these are the products. So what is biohacking? Biohacking is, you'll see in this picture where these folk are using exercise to actually biohack their body. So it's the use of science and technology to make their bodies function better and more effectively. What's actually happening here is by taking supplements. Now, ours is activation, not the supplements of yesterday. And we start turning on the switches. Since the discovery of NRF2 activation, the company is relentless in the pursuit of discovering ways to turn on that switch. And what happens in the body? It turns on the good genes and turns down the bad genes, and our bodies come back in balance. Now, free radicals are the naughty things that actually damage our cells and cause our body to age from within. So these free radicals can be caused by pollution, stress, radiation, toxins, and a whole lot of things, like even drinking water that is not clean. So we come to that issue of, have you heard of oxidative stress? So that is when you can imagine an apple that's been cut in half, it turns brown. Or an old car that goes rusty. That's exactly what happens internally. Our cells start to damage. They get rusty, they get brown, they get gnarly, and they don't perform very well. And so we slow down. But what we want to do is we want to lower that oxidative stress, that damage in the tissues. So we have to increase the antioxidants and decrease the free radicals. Now, at the age of 20, the amount of antioxidants we produce and the amount of free radicals is equal. From 20 onwards, it's a downhill slope, but it doesn't need to be that way. And that's what we're so excited about. LifeVantage has launched Protandim NRF2, and they call it a synergizer because it's not just one product. The little yellow pill is a synergy of 5 natural herbs, and that pathway combats those free radicals. It reduces those free radicals by 40% in 30 days, and it helps decrease the damage in our cells. Now, if anybody wants to know a little bit more, please go to pubmed.gov. That is the International Library of Medicine. And we have 26 studies published there. And when I said earlier that it is a synergy, it's a synergy because these 5 amazing herbs, ashwagandha, bacopa, green tea, milk thistle, turmeric, are the 5 that were chosen from more than 40 that Dr. Joe McCord did his research on to find the best 5 natural herbs that activated that pathway. And you'll see here, it doesn't matter how many pounds of blueberries or oranges or vitamin C or glasses of wine. Can you imagine drinking 87 glasses of wine in one day? I mean, I would hate to know what kind of headache you'd have, but this is what actually happens. From the age of 20, without Protandim, look what happens. The oxidative stress just keeps rising. When someone starts on Protandim, they keep their levels of oxidative stress the same as the age of 20. And all our products are, as you can see, these are just some of the peer-reviewed studies, and we call them peer-reviewed because they're independent. They're not research done by us, but what actually happens when that independent research is done, they come up with the same result. And these are just some of them. The one I'd like to highlight, of course, there's the Heart Foundation, which isn't listed here, the National Institute of Aging, but the one I love is the Washington State University. In the summary of the study that they did, this is what they said. And I'm going to read it because it's so poignant and so important. Probably it's one of the ones you'll quote most often. NRF2 may well become the most extraordinary therapeutic, listen to this, and the most extraordinary preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine. Preventative breakthrough. It is our opinion, they said, that raising NRF2 is likely to be the most important health promoting approach into the foreseeable future. Now that word there, preventative breakthrough, that's about prevention of disease. We're not claiming that, but they are saying that by us using that little yellow pill, it's an opportunity that we can prevent illness and disease as we age, which people think is normal. It's not normal. We should be able to be healthy and strong like we were in the old days. So here we have the Protandim NRF1 synergizer. Again, it's a synergizer because it's a group of compounds that make up the synergy. So the NRF1 pathway keeps the body, the mitochondria, which is in every single cell, but concentrated in the brain and the lungs, from functioning in their peak performance. So you'll notice there's some hikers there, but this performance also pertains to people who are taking part in sport, whether they're an elite athlete or whether they're a granny like me that's racing in dragon boats. It doesn't matter what kind of performance you're doing. It could even just be a home mum that's got a busy mum looking after a home, looking after children here, there, and everywhere. So it's whatever your performance is, it increases and enables you to function at your peak. It reduces the free radical damage in the body and enhances your energy levels so you feel better and can do more. So these are the 5 compounds that once again were chosen after all the research that activated that pathway the best. I am extremely excited. This True Science skincare range, I have no question in my mind that this range is going to do so well in the Philippines. It's the only range of skincare that is activated by the NRF2 formula. It's a patented formula for anti-aging. And anyone who uses it, you know you've got them as a customer for life. So I like to put this slide in because it just gives you an idea that LifeVantage, their processes exceed industry standards. And the products are consistent, they are effective. And note what we say there, 100% tested. What does that really mean? That means the products are tested not only as the raw material comes in, but as it's being prepared, as it's going into the bottle, as it's being packaged, and it's random testing all the way through. So there's no chance that any standards are going to be compromised at any part of the process. And we're extremely proud of that. So network marketing is the business of the future. You just need to see what Bill Gates and Richard Branson say about it. But what is really exciting here, 150 million people are involved globally in this industry. In Australia, because we are going to be working really closely with you, we have 1.4 billion worth in sales in Australia, and it's over 1.5 billion in the Philippines in 2020. So just as a quick point of view for any of you on the call who are considering this as a business opportunity, and it's a massive business opportunity, in 2020, 48.20% is what is paid to distributors. The industry average for network marketing companies is only 34%. So we are the highest paid, one of the highest paid executives in the network marketing industry. So if that's not a great reason to consider joining this company. Now, what about the timing? Is the timing perfect? Absolutely perfect. In the world today, people are looking for a second income stream. They need that additional stream of income so that they have a future, so they've got something they can leave to their grandchildren. It's a legacy company. And what about the situation we're in now with so many people being laid off? This is an opportunity for everybody. And of course, health is in jeopardy because this COVID is all over the place and we want to be at our peak. This slide we included to give you just a brief idea of what the potential is for life-changing earnings. This is the average earnings. LifeVantage is a publicly listed NASDAQ company. So these figures cannot be fudged. They are audited because it's a publicly listed company. So I'm a Pro 5 in the business at the moment, and I'm actually exceeding that figure there. Charlotte, who is our guru and Pro 9 going Pro 10, she's also earning in excess of that. But what is interesting here, if you look at this figure here, this shows you the timing. Now, this is the average timing that you can reach that level in the company. So it says that the average for Pro 5 is 15 months. Well, I was there in 12 months. So it varies. It depends on the time you have available. Some people do it in their pockets of their life. Some people do it part-time. Some people do it full-time. So it just depends on what time you have available to develop this beautiful business. And if you treat it as $1 million business, that's what you're going to earn. And if you treat it as a hobby, you'll certainly earn a little bit of pocket money too. So what makes us different? What makes us different is that we have systems to support. You don't have to reinvent anything. We have everything there. You are trained, so you learn while you earn. And our products are absolutely unique. They are affordable. What is so fabulous is the fact that they're effective and affordable. The retention rates are extremely high. So you retain your customers, so you get paid more. How awesome is that? We've already spoken about the timing. We've touched on the compensation. And when it comes to the company, well, we've said a few things about the company, But what is also interesting when it comes to the product is because we are an activator, our products are activation products. We don't have any competition. You can't go to the supermarket or the health food store or the pharmacy and buy a similar product because there just isn't one. And Charlotte is very sad that she wasn't actually presenting tonight because of her internet connection being out in the country. But what Charlotte said to me before this presentation was she can't wait, and I can't wait for us to actually be there on the ground working with you top leaders in the Philippines. And we hope that's going to be sooner than later, but we'll have to wait until things settle down in the world, and we can certainly be there with you as we grow this beautiful nation. So my question to you tonight is, where do you see yourself? We invite you to join our global community of like-minded people. We are in over 26 countries. So if you have friends and family living in other parts of the world, it's your opportunity to grow a global business. So from me, I'd like to say a great big thank you for being with us this evening. But I would like to also invite you, all of you on the call, or even if you're listening to the replay, please, would you go back to the person who invited you? And we invite you with the warmth in our hearts and the love for the product and the company, and for you to be part of our fabulous community. We have 2 Facebook groups. The one is Activate My Life, and the other is Level Up Your Life. And please, ask the person who invited you to join you onto those groups. So you don't have to have joined us already. We invite you to come and have a look. And in those 2 groups, there's opportunity for you to see and meet the other leaders, an opportunity to see all the other products, just investigate, ask questions, read the testimonials, to gain confidence about where we are going to be taking you in the next few months. So from me, I'd like to wish you a very warm good evening and enjoy the rest of your evening. And I've so enjoyed being with you. And to Marcia, a great big thank you for being with us this evening. Mercia, it was wonderful to have you on the call, and thank you for sharing the updates. And I look forward to the next update on our next call.
Yes.
So from me,
thank you.
Good night.
Thank you.